Yo, what's good, guys? Steezy back up in here. Sorry if I sound a little weird. I got a sore throat and my nose is stuffed. I don't even really feel that good, to be honest. Kind of feeling a little better than earlier on in the week, but yeah, I still feel like complete death. But it's fight night, so I'm hyped either way, even if I feel like ass. But yeah, man, this week was a little weird, man. Just I don't know, just like a roller coaster ride of like lows and highs and just weirdness. Not sure, just not sure like who to really trust. Like people just showing weird sides of themselves, being there for people when they're not there for you, stuff like that. Like it's just been a weird week, man. But anyway, like I said, it is fight night, and I'm really only excited for the two fights, UFC 243, and that's Israel Adesanya, obviously, for Robert Whittaker, for the championship bout, unification, and then also Ali Quinta versus Dan Hooker. That's going to be a good one as well. I'm not that big of a fan of Dan Hooker, but I mean, it's not like he's garbage. He's good. I don't really pay attention to him, man. But I really like Ali Quinta. I just love his whole attitude, man. Like, what other guy do you know that's wealthy off of real estate and still signs up to get punched in the face for 25 minutes? Like, shout out to Ali Quinta for that, man. He's a true warrior. He really loves to fight, man. And I just love his attitude, man. He's always just like, he's just a New Yorker, bro. You gotta love like a classic New Yorker, and that's Ali Quinta, man. Respect. Shout out to Ali Quinta. He is kind of like on a lose kind of streak there. Another reason why I really respect the hell out of Ali Quinta is just for the fact that he didn't give up against Khabib. Like when he fought Khabib, a lot of people give up when they fight against him. They just throw the fight like, oh man, like I can't beat this guy, and they just give up in the octagon, and you can easily tell that they give up, and it's just kind of crazy. But Ali Quinta, he stayed in the fight the whole time. You know, he proved that he could be in there with the elite guys. Even though he did get a little bit ragdolled, but I just love his whole confidence and his whole attitude going into that fight. Like it was the attitude that a lot of fighters should have. Well, they do, but it's like they don't necessarily always back it up. You know, and Khabib is a really tough opponent to just be in there with regardless. And the way Ali Quinta was able to survive and not get finished, to me that was something worth, you know, noting. Then we have so yeah, I'm really pulling for Ali Quinta to win that fight. I'll be happy if he does win that fight, man. I want to see him do good in the UFC. Realistically, he probably won't ever be champion. But he doesn't need to. He's just an exciting fighter to always watch. It doesn't matter if, you know, he's the best in the world. He's clearly not the best in the world, but it's still good to watch him fight, man. It's always an exciting fight. He's always there 100%. And he just puts on a great performance for the audience. Now, also, I will say I am excited to see Holly Holm fight against I forgot her name, to be completely honest, and I know it might sound like a casual fan right now, but I don't care. I mean, Holly Holm is cool, so it'll be interesting in that fight too, just to kind of see what happens, But then Israel Adesanya, Robert Whittaker. And one of the things is, man, I'm sick. I'm just tired of just scrolling through my feed or like people's stories and stuff like that, and just seeing like, oh, Stylebender's gonna win so easy. Stylebender's gonna knock him out. Oh man, easy fight for Stylebender. Like I've been seeing this repeatedly this whole week, and I'm just like, you can't sound more of a casual fan than just completely outright just saying that Israel Adesanya is gonna win against Robert Whittaker. Put some respect on Robert Whittaker's name, man. Like, he's champion for a reason, and the fact that people just want to say that Israel Adesanya is easily going to win just because he's on a little streak right now, whatever, man. Like, do some research, look into Robert Whittaker, and here's what I say, man. Like, we saw we saw what happened when Israel Adesanya fought Kelvin Gastelum. To me, Kelvin Gastelum, he's a good fighter. Don't get me wrong, but he's not on the elite level of some of these other guys. And Israel Adesanya got lit up by Kelvin Gastelum. After that, after those five grueling rounds, he came out looking like he got stung by like 10 bees in the face, man. His lip was all bowled up. His face looked like he just got ran over by a bus, man. It was bad. And when you take into consideration that Robert Whittaker defeated Yoel Romero twice, and you can say Yoel Romero won, those two fights. Definitely the second one. I even had Romero winning that second one. But still, man, it's like it's still the level of challenger that Robert Whittaker is, man. Like, he stood there the entire 5 rounds with a killer like Yoel Romero. Yoel Romero is 10 light years ahead of Kelvin Gastelum, and we saw how Kelvin Gastelum did against Israel Adesanya. He damn near knocked him down the first round. Like, come on. So put some respect on Whittaker's name. I have Whittaker winning this fight. It'll definitely be an easier fight for Whittaker than Romero. So that's why I can not easily, anything could happen in a fight, but that's why I can say that Robert Whittaker will probably win this fight. Anything can happen in a fight, though. But I do see Robert Whittaker winning. And to me, you can just see, like, I know there's a few people that want to call Robert Whittaker one-dimensional, and yeah, man, he's just a stand-up kind of brawler guy. But this dude is so tough, man. He's so tough. His energy is always there. He's going to keep on stepping forward. We saw that twice against Yoel Romero. And I believe Israel Adesanya just isn't on the level of Yoel Romero. And we're going to see who Israel Adesanya really is, man. I feel like on that fight with Kelvin Gastelum, a lot of holes got exposed in his game. And Robert Whittaker is just going to take advantage of that. Robert Whittaker has had enough time off to recover, to heal up and stuff like that. So to me, he's going to come back a brand new beast and show people why he's a champion. And it's going to be what it is, man. Israel Adesanya, he's young. He still has a big career ahead of him. But I just looking at it from the inside and on the outside, I just don't see Israel Adesanya beating Robert Whittaker. Like, in how? Like knocking him out? I don't think so, man. Like, he stood a lot of the hard punches that Yoel Romero threw at him like nothing, man. He just ate him. He just ate everything. He didn't barely even got... He was on survival mode a little bit, but it's Yoel Romero, man. Right now, you can argue that Romero should be champion right now. You can argue that Romero is the champion of the middleweight division, the way he handled Robert Whittaker those last 2 fights. But the fact that Robert Whittaker still performed great against him is kind of like, okay, what is Israel Adesanya really going to do? Does he really have what it takes to beat Robert Whittaker? Me personally, I don't think so. Like I said, anything could happen in a fight, man. A fight to me is always 50-50, no matter how good one guy is and how bad the other guy is. Anything could happen in a fight. It's 50-50, and the winner is up in there until it really happens, until the decision is made on who won. Then we can really know. But as far as just prediction, I have Robert Whittaker beating Israel Adesanya. And I normally don't do predictions because I'm just the type of guy that, oh man, like, these guys are like super good, and it's gonna be it's normally for me it's always interesting just seeing who the winner's gonna be. Like, I try not to pick unless it's one of my favorite fighters. Robert Whittaker is not one of my favorite fighters. Neither is Israel Adesanya, but I just know the type of fighter that Robert Whittaker is. I know his skill level. I know his grind, his toughness, and I don't know, man. Let's say Israel Adesanya does beat Robert Whittaker in whatever form or fashion. Paulo Costa is going to ruin his life when he has to fight Israel Adesanya. For me, it's very unlikely that Israel Adesanya beats Robert Whittaker, but there's no way in hell Israel Adesanya is beating Paulo Costa. Like, there's just no way, bro. Like, there's absolutely no way. So I will say Israel Adesanya's win streak, his 17-0 win streak is going to be coming to an end eventually. If it's not Robert Whittaker, Paulo Costa is definitely going to get that W over Israel Adesanya. And It's looking like Paulo Costa is gonna fight the winner. He should. He just beat Romero. And that's another fight too, where I feel like Romero won. But I mean, it was a very close fight. But nobody has done to Paulo Costa what Yoel Romero did to Paulo Costa. So that's something to keep in mind. That's something to, just think about. When you're analyzing who's better than who and who deserves what. You know what I mean? Going back to Israel Adesanya, man, like, don't get me wrong, he's a good fighter, man, but it's just like, I feel like he has that sort of hype that Conor McGregor and Ronda Rousey had, like, they're really pushing him, and, he's winning fights, he's undefeated, but come on, man, like, dude, there's other guys in middleweight that there's, like, Paulo Costa and Robert Whittaker, and Yoel Romero. To me, those three guys are way better than Israel Adesanya. Israel Adesanya, to me, is super hyped, especially now because he beat a 43-year-old Anderson Silva. It's just like anybody could beat a 43-year-old Anderson Silva right now. Like, we saw him in that fight, how sluggish he was. He just seemed heavy. Like, he wasn't as fluid as he normally fights, and I feel like that cost him the fight, man. And it's like you can only fight for so long. Your body comes to an age where you just can't be as physically active as you were in your youth or when you were younger. You know what I mean? Like, pushing 40s and up for a fighter is very, very hard, man. You're not as athletic as you were in your 20s, early 30s. You know what I mean? It's a different ball game, especially a fighter like Anderson Silva, who's fought damn near all of the toughest competition that he possibly could have fought, and pretty much beat everybody. You know what I mean? Like, just because Israel Adesanya beat a 43-year-old Anderson Silva, you can't say that Israel Adesanya is better than Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva's catalog will shit on Israel Adesanya's catalog, like, for the rest of his life. Like, there's really nothing Israel Adesanya could do to be better than have a better legacy than Anderson Silva. You know what I mean? Like, just look at the level of competition Anderson Silva has defeated, and then look at, like, a lot of the nobodies that Israel Adesanya has beat. You know what I mean? So I'm not trying to be a hater. I don't hate Israel Adesanya, but I'm just trying to put some respect on Robert Whittaker, and also anybody else that deserves some recognition, man. Like Yoel Romero, stuff like that. Paulo Costa, Anderson Silva, But don't get me wrong, Israel Adesanya, he's where he's at because he's good. Don't get me wrong. But I have a big feeling his win streak is going to come to an end. And we're just going to have to see, man. Fight night, quick little breakdown, just quick little prediction. I want Ally Quinta to win against Dan Hooker, and I have a feeling Robert Whittaker is going to defeat Israel Adesanya. I don't know exactly how, but there's not many ways that I can see Israel Adesanya beating Robert Whittaker, man. So I'll hit you guys up after the fight. It's going to be tonight, so I'll link up with y'all maybe tomorrow or something, and we'll do like a little post-fight analysis, and we'll keep it rocking, man. Thanks for watching. Peace.